Hey Facebook family. So it is 7:50 Pacific Standard Time. So I just completed dinner. I just wanted to give you all a quick little visual. Um, my signal is weak, so we'll see. This is going to be a real quick one though, so hopefully you all can understand everything that I'm saying all the way through. I made spaghetti squash and veggie, well, like it's the alkaline spaghetti, but instead of using pasta, I used squash. I used spaghetti squash. So let me take the top off right here so you guys can see. This is a pot of red onions, diced bell pepper, two different types of mushrooms, shiitake, and an oyster mushrooms, and Roma tomatoes. And the peppers that I used are like the bright bell peppers that I was telling you all I prepped on Sunday. So now you all can see the value of prepping your food in advance, prepping it over the weekend. Because the peppers that I prepped on Sunday, I didn't have to prep just now. The mushrooms that I got, I picked up a couple days ago at the Asian market. And oh my gosh, they got deals on deals, boy. So this meal took about maybe 45 minutes to make. The longest part was the spaghetti squash. And let me show you all what that looks like. This is the spaghetti squash. I cut it the long way, but I wasn't thinking about it initially and cut it the short way. So it cooks more evenly this way, though, compared to this way. So go horizontally, not vertically. And this is just a regular fork. You puncture the squash and peel it back like that. And the consistency is that of a pasta or maybe even hash browns. And let me tell you all how I seasoned it. So after I cut the spaghetti squash, I gutted it and took out the seeds and that other stuff out the middle. I think it's known as squash guts. But it's just vegetables. That's just the term. Then I took some pink Himalayan salt, just like a small amount. I would say a small amount, just a really, really small amount. Maybe a quarter of a tablespoon of salt. And I would say start real, real small like that across the board. Because if it's not enough salt, you can always put more on, but you can't take it off. And that's what my grandma always told me. And she's a retired celebrity chef. And she telling the truth, because I've messed up a lot of meals calling myself being proactive and putting way too much salt in it, turning it into poison. And it tastes gross. So anyway, you take the spaghetti squash, cut it horizontally, season it again. Use about maybe a fourth of a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt or sea salt for the whole squash, like both pieces. Take some onion powder. I get mine from Winco, and it's just plain dried up white onion, and that's it. And I put some crushed pepper in it. I don't think this is red, but I got it from Winco also, and it has a really, really, really good flavor. It's not aggressive. My son doesn't like spicy stuff, but he can tolerate this. He actually likes it. So let me take it out the container. And I just have a small little baggie like this, but you can buy whatever amount you want. That's why I love Winco. And then after I put those three things on it, I took some grapeseed oil and I poured it into each individual section. As you saw, I have 3 little pieces instead of 2. So I made sure that for the smaller two, that it was like a boat and holding the oil so that it could penetrate as the squash is cooking. The objective is to allow for the grapeseed oil to penetrate through the squash. So by the time it's done baking in the oven on 425 for anywhere from 30 to maybe 45 minutes, checking regularly, it'll be soft enough for you to peel back and not have any issues. I've cooked it wrong before and it was like rough. It was like eating some undercooked hash browns and I didn't really like it. So I did a much better job the second time that I did it, and that was when Amaya and I were in the airport. So again, it takes maybe about 45. Well, it will take about 45 minutes ultimately to complete the meal, but the spaghetti sauce that I created, that I made, that took maybe about 10-15 minutes. And let me show you all what I put inside of it before I get off of here so I can eat, because it smells so good. I cannot wait to chow down. So I used this brand of pasta sauce because I'm not quite all the way at the DIY phase. I like semi-homemade products because certain things I'm just not ready for yet, and I don't know if I will be. So I need the store-bought marinara sauce right now, but there are a lot of different Dr. Sabi groups out there that have incredible recipes for how you can make your own homemade marinara sauces. Then I showed you all the other spices. This is not sage, basil. I sprinkled, I kind of like basil, so maybe half a teaspoon maybe, and it's to taste, so you can decide what feels good, what tastes good for you. I put onion powder in it and pink Himalayan salt, but just a small amount, and I brought it to a simmer, and I will post pictures before we eat the plates of what it looked like, but this is an imperative meal for us to eat because we did eat out yesterday while we were at the Golden Nugget pool. Now, I got the quesadilla for myself because I got the buffalo wings for the children, but the quesadilla, like that cheese, I couldn't do it. So I ended up kind of munching on the crust a bit, the parts of the crust that didn't have the cheese in it. And the more I chewed, the more I was like, I'm not even into this. I'm not really hungry. So I ended up not eating what I purchased yesterday, but my children did. So I've made them this alkaline dinner, and tonight I'll be making some sorrel as well, which is Jamaican hibiscus. And I learned about Jamaican hibiscus from the Jamaican food truck. They're called Sun something. I'm going to take a picture of their Instagram and post that up in addition to the picture of tonight's dinner so that you all can follow them. They are a Jamaican family that has a food truck at the farmers market every Sunday. They're also all over the city. They just did the Aloha Fest. So if you all come across the Jamaican food truck, get with them. They know their stuff. His wife is the one that told me that I could get the Jamaican hibiscus from any ethnic grocer. So I got mine from Mariana's, and I'll have to figure out how to make it, but that journey is happening tonight, and I'll make sure I keep you guys abreast to the process. That's it. So have a great night. Thank you for letting me give you this little tidbit of information. If you think anyone in your circle can use this information, please share it so other people can benefit also. This is an alkaline meal, and alkaline anything just oxygenates the insides of our body, and we need that for functionality. So, yeah, that's it. Oh, and alkaline things, water, food, herbs, are good for like anything that's wrong with you. It'll help you get right like super quick. Oh, and one more thing. So this was a touching moment for me yesterday. So I wanted to share it real quick. My one of the managers at the YMCA is pregnant and was having issues with digestion and her stomach, and she's a petite woman, and she's getting deeper and deeper into her pregnancy, and it was really, really painful once upon a time. So she was telling me about some of the symptoms, and I recommended that she eat the kamut puffs, which I've been telling you all about for a long while now. Kamut is an Egyptian grain. It is cellularly receptive, which means that your body takes it and uses it right away, and whatever it can't use, it wastes, so it doesn't rot in your body. Kamut puffs are pretty plain tasting. They look like this, and I have different fruit that I prep on a regular basis. Right now I have that bowl of berries that I showed you all a couple days ago. It's still in there. Show you guys what it looks like so you can see how well Trader Joe's produce holds up, because it was awesome when I initially got it together. It still looks good. So as y'all can see, I got a lot of eating to do, but those are fresh produce from Trader Joe's. It was worth the purchase. So I'm going to take my little kamut puffs and some berries and chow down for later on tonight, whenever I feel like I need a additional boost. I have been eating the spelt bread with the almond butter and the date sugar and the agave, and I've been loving it because I gave up bread, but it's still a grain, it's still bread. So I was eating it at night, like in place of some other guilty pleasure I once ate, like maybe some cookies or some cake or something like that. And now I'm over the bread because I don't like what's happening with my tummy. Just to show you all a little bit, it's not that bad because you can still see my definition right here. But if I turn to the side, you can see that it is aggravated right around here. It's distended out a little bit. It's like a little puffy, and it feels like it's a little puffy. So I'm going to be drinking more water than I typically drink. And I did finish up my bread today, but I ate it earlier today, so I'm not going to continue to have these issues. I'm going to be on my alkaline goodness for a while because I want to feel good. And it's incredible how you could do one little thing like eat just the crust of a quesadilla and still have digestion issues the day after. And again, I was just eating the crust. I had water too, but it may have been tap water. I drank a coconut today, some coconut water, and I've been behaving well today. I didn't have any cheats. So I'll keep you all posted as to what the process is while I am detoxing myself. And this, I'm just leading by example. I'm showing y'all what I go through. So, if you're doing anything and it's more extreme than what I'm going through, then you could take my results and multiply it by whatever is realistic for your world. And take my examples and help yourself. All right? Love and light, all y'all. Peace.